Okay, thank you so much. I am very happy to welcoming all here the next day morning, that is 20th morning, 10 a.m. New Zealand time. Good morning and also good afternoon and also good evening to all. So it is here in the morning. That is why I think we just start it with our national anthem. That is one of my best friend, Delvin, is here to sing that. Okay, so you please enjoy our national anthem in Maori and in English. Okay, thank you. Yes, Delvin, please.
Thank you, Dr. Molly Shaji. Our national anthem in New Zealand is called God Defend New Zealand, and it was a poem that was written in 1876 and then translated into Te Ao Māori in 1878. And our national anthem is a prayer, and I think we're very honoured to have this national anthem for our country, New Zealand. So here we go. E hoa atua o ngā iwi mātaua a ta whakarangara nei aroha noa kia hua o te pō kia tautō mana apiti anga a te ora God of nations at thy feet, in the bonds of love we meet. Hear our voices, we entreat. God defend our free land. God Pacific's triple star, from the shores of strife and war, make her praises heard afar. God defend you,
Thank you. Bye. Next, our priest, Reverend Father Joseph Maramkandam. I am inviting Father. Thank you.
Excuse me, madam, what's the father's name?
Father Joseph Maramkandam. It is in Ledda. So tell them please unmute and say.
Sumaidi name, Leda.
Yeah.
Okay, Father, you can unmute from your side.
Okay, good morning to all those who are in Australasia, and good evening to all those who are in different places of the world. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be with you as you are all assembling, sharing your viewpoints about how to promote homeopathy. How I am coming into the picture is because of 2-3 reasons. Number one, during my early childhood onwards, I was depending upon homeopathy for all sorts of ailments, because during the early 1950s, as I was born in India, in Kerala, my mother was practicing homeopathy. And two of my uncles were homeopath doctors. And from that point onwards, I was involved with the homeopathic medicines. Maybe you can say, now I am sitting in Auckland in New Zealand. Maybe homeopathy also has contributed for my sitting here in good health. Even during the COVID-19 pandemic starting period onwards, as I was in India, at that time, the whole family was advised by our friend doctor to take the tablets to keep our immunity in order. And maybe because of that, we were not affected by that COVID-19 till this point. As I was listening to several of the presentations, I heard that a lot of individual researches are going on in the field of homeopathy. Several of you doctors are contributing your efforts to serve the patients and the society. I'm very happy about that. And I congratulate you all who are involved in those kinds of activities. One thing I would like to mention, a positive thing about homeopathic medicines, is that homeopathic medicines have not generated diseases. And that is why homeopathy is not getting the same prominence as allopathic medicines. I'm not advising you to generate diseases. I am congratulating you because you are not generating diseases. Rather, you are growing naturally. It is not a made-up growth. It is a natural growth. It is getting popular in several countries. Of course, in the place where I am sitting, it has to grow further as a medical field, alternative medical field, where there are no diseases generated as side effects of medicines which they are taking. For example, I will tell you, I was living in Europe Vienna at that time in the early 90s. And I had slight blood pressure, high blood pressure, maybe due to stress or workload or whatever it is. And my doctor suggested me to take a tablet. And after taking that tablet for 2 months or 3 months, I started having high sugar also in the blood. The doctor himself told me as a result of taking that medicine for BP, I started having this sugar high level. And then I started with diabetic medicines also. Until now, I am forced to continue with that. What I am telling is, in homeopathic medicines, these kinds of reactions, as far as I know, I don't know whether there is any, but as far as I know, these kinds of side effects are not there or are lesser. And one of the problems with all you homeopathic fraternity or those who are involved in it is that you are not popularizing this part of your research. That is one thing. Second thing, if I have a headache or a body pain or a common cold, the common ailments, if I walk into a medical shop, I will not get a homeopathic medicine for that. Allopathic medicines are more popular among people because they have got instant access to these kinds of medicines for common ailments. You homeopaths will have to think about that. What is the way in which you can provide easily accessible medicines to the common public like me without much of a hassle? Third thing is, without much of commercial involvement, homeopathy has to be accepted by the secular governments in all the countries as an alternative acceptable medicine. Of course, it has got its dangers also. In the government-funded medical field, the stakeholders are too many, not simply the patient and the doctor. There are so many middlemen. Of course, if you some way influence a government to accept homeopathy also as an alternative system of medicine acceptable and funded by the government, the number of stakeholders will increase, those who will share the profit out of it. And even doctors will become helpless in several cases to prescribe the right medicine for the right patient. As a person who is using the government facility, I have seen it in the allopathic field. The doctors are helpless on several occasions. They are forced to prescribe not the wrong, but the nearest medication, because that is all what is available in the government funding list. Homeopathy also will have to go into that direction, but not to be affected by all these kinds of stakeholders in between. The next point which I would like to share with you is, I have heard from several of the gentlemen and gentlewomen who spoke on this forum that several of you are able to conduct different kinds of researches in the field. But this is not in the public. We do not know what is going on inside your fraternity. If you are doing research, publish it, make known. Let people like me, who are the actual users of your homeopathic system of medicine, know it. You have done a lot of work, progressed a lot. The unfortunate thing is the public do not know it. Of course, there again is a danger. The commercial advertisement people, if they walk in, they will steal the show. And the price of medicines will skyrocket. And there will be formalities involved in buying a medicine even. It will end up in the same way of the allopathic medicines. In one way, I will say the growth of homeopathy has kept a natural pace till now. And that is good. That is what it is being sustained. Therefore, I wish all of you the best. I wish all of you to look forward to a brighter future where you are not generating diseases, but helping the society, the people, to save their lives from diseases. Thank you very much. Yes, Dr. Molly, you can come to the podium.
Yeah. Bibin is ready. Yeah. Next participant is Bibin. Thank you so much.
Madam, what is the name?
Bibin.
Bibin Paul.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for unmuting me. Yeah, I was trying to unmute myself. Okay, anyway. Yeah. So good morning, guys. Myself, Bibin Paul. I'm from Kerala. Been in New Zealand for the last 4 years. I'm working in an IT segment. Yeah, I know Dr. Molly and for last 1 year. So I would like to take make some points from my experience. So I'm a person who was suffering with some chronic urticaria for maybe for some time, and I've been relying on the allopathic medicine. Of course, I mean that was effective. I will not say that, but I would say that that was not curing my urticaria. And later I've been to homeopath for the same issue, and of course I found it very effective. And rather than being found very effective, I am impressed that it is not having any side effects. So that was one of the main point I would like to highlight here. So the medicines are naturally produced, and it is not having any side effects like another medicines which is created from chemicals. So that's one of the main highlight or main thing which I was impressed with the homeopath. Apart from that, of course, I would say that that should be also considered along with the allopathic medicine and should be funded by the government so that a normal person can still access these medicines. So, by saying that, of course, I mean, I do support the homeopathy in New Zealand, and I do urge government to include this homeopath along with the allopathic medicine. thank you. And of course, I mean, I'm appreciate all your efforts to bring homeopath medicine path to New Zealand. Thank you all, guys, and wish you all the very best success.
Thank you, Bibin Paul. He's from Wellington. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then next is Lada. Can you please unmute? Thank you.
Yes, madam, he is unmute now. And he is unmute from her side.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Whoever is hearing me from different parts of the world. Can you hear me?
Yes, madam. Yes.
Yes.
You can continue.
Yeah. So I'm Lata Joseph and happen to be the wife of Dr. Joseph Marangando. And I'm here in New Zealand to help with his mission. But in India, I was working as the training director of Alzheimer's Society of India in national level. And here I'm just helping my husband's mission. But I'm to say here today, the very first thing is that I'm not a homeopath, but I am a fan of you all, because from the childhood, I have been taking homeo medications till this COVID-19 occurred. And I have to always praise for homeopathy. And let me congratulate the IFPH for conducting such a wonderful Zoomathon. I would say it is an excellent program. And I take this chance to say a word of 9. A word of 9 means awareness. Awareness is everywhere we can use. And I should say, you should go into different societies, especially in New Zealand. We have multi-ethnic societies where you can enter and do good awareness programs. You should look into the points, the places where you can reach and give good awareness about homeopathy and its treatments and how it is good for your body and mind. That's very important. And this 9-word awareness has got a wonderful result, or I can say they do miracles in the society if you do it in a proper way. And along with the awareness, what I can say is, like, you can go to the schools and have take some time to just give awareness to the upper class level students, so that, you know, they can choose their studies further. They can choose their studies, homeopathy studies, and how it can really make their living in their lives. That is very important, other than this awareness. Back in India, I used to have so many awareness classes about Alzheimer's and other dementias. But then along with that, I used to call the Alzheimer's affected families and homeopaths also to give a good class for the families to treat these Alzheimer's or demented patients to get some good results. It can be taken up as research also, because Alzheimer's and other related disorders of dementias are still not cured properly. So you can also get into the research side of Alzheimer's. So I was so much particular about that, because it is very easy for them to have this medications, as well as there is no much side effects which we can make out, or the family can make out. So I was very particular about it. And I used to go to the Homeopathy Medical College, to give a wonderful awareness about the Alzheimer's and the related dementias to the students. And I entrusted them, whenever you get a chance in practice, you please specialize in such areas where nobody has seen any good results or wonderful results from their pockets or their professions. I think Homeo can do it, because Alzheimer's once occurred is never been cured, but we can prevent them. So I think these Homeo groups, Homeo sector also can get into some good researches to develop some vaccines for this Alzheimer's also. That is my area, because I'm just pointing it out. Then another thing I wanted to tell is the awareness is important, because many people are not aware of the homeopathy. That is one thing. Number two is the governments governments are not accepting so much to give them financial support for their medications and treatments of homeopathy. I think that also, in that way also, we have to listen to have some good results from the government also. Not only in this country, but everywhere it is like that. I still remember when I was in Europe, during my practice, there were some doctors and surgeons. They were practicing homeopathy, because they have studied it and they have practiced the homeopathy clinics also. There were allopathy surgeons one side, and they have practiced homeopathy medications. So I was wondering, even though it is from Europe, it has come out so well, this Homeo. There are so many people still there that time in 90s. They were the allopaths were practicing homeopathy. That was a good go, I must say that. So today, I'm so happy to at least express myself about this homeopathy connected to my side, this geriatric side, that is especially the Alzheimer's and related disorders, dementia. You have a vast or ample of areas to poke into and find out some good vaccinations. And I think you have to practice everything. One way you have to do the awareness, another way you have to teach the students about even these dementias, and how you can do some wonderful researches on that and come out with some good results. I think world around you have the back supports, so you can do that. Let me conclude here with saying that the different ethnic societies we have to enter and do some good awareness, and also it's a good chances to enter in their societies to promote the new generation in their societies to study about the homeopathy and practices and keep awareness classes in the schools. And it is always good to have a good team build. A teamwork can really win the race wonderfully well. So I should suggest to make a boom of this awareness. We have to really come out with a good team and practice awareness and practice your homeopathy practice and bring out the students to practice homeopathy. So let me thank you for giving me a wonderful chance to talk to you all about my feelings about homeopathy and which side you can go, how you can go about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, next one of the well-wisher is waiting. She is Sarita K.
Ma'am, what's her name?
Sarita K. She is waiting.
Yes, I unmute her. Okay, please
Yeah, hi.
unmute from your side. Okay.
Yeah. Thank
Hi,
you.
thank you. Thank you, Dr. Molly. Thank you, guys. First of all, let me thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk on this platform, and congratulations on the huge turnout. I am a patient of Dr. Molly, and I am a huge believer of homeopathy. I think my biggest appreciation for this form of medicine is it treats you holistically, not just the issue or the problem that I'm facing. I've had seen a lot of doctors for my back issue, and the only thing I got told was to take injections or surgery, and it would only deal with the problem on a temporary basis. It's not going to help me recover long term. But with homeopathy, I know and I have 100% faith that it's going to treat me as a person, help me recover from that issue and not just treat my pain, but the actual problem. And I hope that the voice of homeopathy can be heard in Auckland and it can be covered because it's such an important form of medicine. And my 100% faith in the homeopathy field. And I hope we can, or this platform will help bring awareness to the form of medicine. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next is Asha Alex. She's waiting, one of the well-wisher of homeopathy. Thank you. Yes, Asha. Can you please unmute from your side?
Wait, madam.
Yeah.
I didn't see her.
Yeah, she's in the
Her ID name. Zoom ID name.
Asha Alex.
But Mr. Edwin Alex is here.
Yeah, same. Sorry. Yeah, same.
Okay.
Her son, sorry.
Yes, okay. Okay, madam. Please unmute your side.
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes, yes. Can proceed.
Sorry, I just logged in from my son's account. Sorry, my name is Asha Alex. Okay, hi everyone. Good morning from New Zealand. My name is Asha Alex, and I have been living in New Zealand for the last 18 years. And I have been taking homeopathy medication for the last 10 years as far as my memory goes. So for different ailments in New Zealand, I've not been taking any medication in India. That is where I originally come from. Please note that I've been taking different allopathy medicines, but with different strong side effects. So I actually forced myself to stop it because of all the side effects what I have been having. And when started the homeopathy medication, I had enormous benefits, and I just wouldn't stop taking this because it has benefited my system and my body in different ways. I am aware there's a lot of work, research from doctors at an international level, which has been undertaken and has also been undergoing to make this a success. So I really appreciate all your efforts and insight into this. I would strongly recommend, I would say, to be widely introduced in New Zealand for the wider community so that everyone can be benefited out of this medicine. So it's really important to note that, as I said to you before, I've been taking allopathy medicines with different side effects. And because of that, I really won't go back to that. So thank you so much, and everyone have a great day. Thanks.
Thank you, Asha ma'am. Next is Rahul. Rahul is waiting, one of the well-wisher of homeopathy from New Zealand.
Okay, sir, you can unmute from your side.
Greetings to everyone. My name is Rahul. I've been living in New Zealand for past 13 years. And my wife has been here since last 8 to 9 years. And we are probably the newest people to been going through the homeopathy treatment. And one of my wife's friend had suggested my wife to see or contact Dr. Molly. So we haven't met Dr. Molly in person yet, but because we live a little bit far from Auckland. So yeah, but the results that we've seen have been really surprisingly really good. So my wife suffers from very severe period pain. And she's been seeing various gynecologists and all sorts of doctors for many, many years. And the result, we have never seen anything like what we have just seen in past 3 months or not even 3 months. So, so during her period pains, she used to have not only just really bad cramps, but she used to faint, and then at times that she couldn't even go to work because of that amount of pain. But ever since we've been taking Dr. Molly's homeopathy medicines, not only she's going to work, but she is feeling really fresh and just like a normal day. So it's a completely different sort of a feeling, not only for her, but for me as well, because I just couldn't even see her going through that pain. So yeah, thank you so much for the homeopathy treatment, and congratulations to all of you for organizing this Zoom session. Thank you.
Thank you, Rahul. So yeah, next our well-wisher is waiting. It is number 10, BOR, that is Mona.
Okay, madam, I unmuted.
Yeah. Hi, Mona.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Malalele, kia ora to everyone. Whanau. Yeah, I'm Moana. I'm from Tonga. And I've got here my husband as well. She's going to talk later, I think. Quarter past 11. I'm so blessed, and I would like to say thanks to our Heavenly Father for this, for His love and His protection and guidance towards each and every one of us who in this platform this morning. I'm so grateful for you, Dr. Molly, for the work that you are doing, and to everyone, the senior staff or committee who organized this platform for us, where we can share and hear other people's testimonies. Yeah, I've been with, the problem with me, I've got high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and I'm a pre-diabetic patient too. I'm with my husband and my oldest son. My husband and my son has been taking the homeopathy medication, but I haven't taken it. But soon, very soon, I'm gonna join with them because I can see in them the transformation since they start. It's only a week now since they start taking the medications. But I'll leave it for my husband and my sons to talk later. But, you know, in my experience in these few days, or almost a week since I come to the clinic, I joined with my husband taking the walk. I never heard of this before, or even in Tonga. I'm so 100% wants to reach out to my community, to my Tongan community, but the Pacific Island here in Mangere, you know, where the most of the population of the Pacific Island are here in South Auckland, which I am 100% committed in the future to help out with if there is an awareness program for our people here in South Auckland and in here in Auckland as well. I think we haven't heard of this, and this was the first time I come across with my family, and I believe on it because I can witness it. I can see it in my own eyes, in my husband and in my son, that the medications and everything that been shared by the doctor, and we take it into our waka, and we know very well. I know very well that it is really work in not only in myself, but in my husband and my son. But they will talk later and share with you all how they start the journey with homeopathy. But I'm so thankful and grateful. My family, on behalf of my family, I'll let you know. I will 100% support if there will be an awareness program running for our Tongans people here in Auckland and everywhere. If I go overseas, I will promote it. I like to promote it because people are not aware of this homeopathy, which we really know, which I really know that there is no side effect. You know, all the medication that I've started to get, my memories getting deteriorate, and it's gonna be bad if in 5 years or 10 years. I don't think I'm gonna cope with this, but I'm so thankful for you, Dr. Molly, and God bless you, and we'll work with you and this platform, not today, but in the future, soon. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Mona. So you are wonderful speak. I told everyone don't say to my name, but everyone not listening me. So before that, yeah. Next well-wisher is waiting. She is in the name of Gabriel. Yeah, Sapna Nag. Thank you. Can you please unmute Gabriel? Thank you.
Her name is Gabria.
Yeah, Gabriel.
Gabriel.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, admitted. Please check.
Yeah. Hello. Hi, guys. My name is Swapna, and it's under the name of my son, Gabriel. So that's the confusion. So, Kiara, and very good morning to you all. So, I have been living in New Zealand for the past 11 years, and I work with the telecom industry. So, I believe in homeopathy and its abilities to cure chronic and acute diseases. So it's because my family and I have benefited from it over the years. So as a child, I remember back in India, my mom used to take me to a homeopathic doctor whenever I had any tonsillitis issues. So over the years, it got cured completely without needing any surgeries at all. Such a relief. Later, as a mom myself, I went to homeopathy when my son, who was around 2 months old, started getting colic issues. I got him treated with homeopathy all through infancy and childhood, and now he is a 6-year-old healthy boy. And when my husband was suffering from chickenpox, again, homeopathy came to the rescue. So the best thing about homeopathy is that it doesn't have any side effects. It doesn't treat the symptoms. It goes to the source of the disease and uproots it from the base. It's also great in prevention. So when traveling overseas, what I do is I always turn to homeopathy. For example, to treat malaria or things like that. On the whole, homeopathy has helped me and my family, and I would happily recommend it. I'm a big promoter and I love it. So I hope the benefits of this alternative medicine can get known to more people. It would be a welcome step if the government of New Zealand can support homeopathy. Then it can easily reach more people and help them. So I appreciate this timely initiative from IFPH. Their Zoomathon had already crossed 200 Zoom meetings, and in an effort to spread the goodness of homeopathy. And I thank the IFPH for giving me this opportunity to be part of this holistic exercise. I'm sure their efforts will bear fruit and homeopathy will bring widespread relief around the world. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Swapna.
Thank you.
But Monasi? Yeah, it is a 10 BOR, 10 bor again. Yeah.
10 bor again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Monasi, welcome.
Okay, okay, madam. Admit.
Yeah.
Madam, can you unmute your side?
Yeah. I can't do that, sorry.
10 BOR.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you hear me? Hear me now? You hear me now, Dr. Modi?
Yeah, welcome, Sanasi.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can see it now.
Okay.
You're audible now.
We can't see your face properly.
Okay.
Just camera. No. The screen. Yeah. That's good.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. And greetings, everybody. It's an excellent result so far. For the last 7 days, I weighed myself this morning and I lost 7 kilos so far. Yeah. And not only that, on Monday,
See, I came in on Saturday last week, and I didn't. On Monday this week, I've already dropped my insulin from over 10, sometimes up to 15, depending on my eating habit. But since I come from after your instruction, I follow exactly. Never touch. Well, I miss my taro and bananas, and I miss all my food. But I absolutely 100% follow your instruction because I'm desperate to see the result in the next 4 weeks. And so far, it's average only in 7. You know, in the morning, every morning, and in the evening. Right throughout. Sometimes it dropped down to 6, and it was one time I woke up, it was 5.
But normally
yeah,
reading in the morning.
that's right. So average, I would say 7 is very good. I just can't wait to
reading.
I can't wait. Yeah, it's dropping down. That's the sugar level, dropping down from around average the 12. 13 to 7, so it's half the insulin so far in 1 week. With regard to the fungus on my toenails, I follow exactly your instructions. With some hot water, I boil the water, and again, as much as I can stand on it with a bit of salt on the water. And yeah, instant, it's not yet
for 10 minutes.
Complete, yeah, for 10 minutes every morning. Sometimes I did it twice, if I can remember, in the evening, but I can tell the difference so far. And I do the walk with Moana's help. We walk every morning for an hour in the park. And, you know, the start was hard, but so far it's getting very easier. You know, so I'm very impressed with the result that I have so far, and it pushes me. I starve, like I said, during the day. I don't feel that I lost any energy, but I can tell my stomach. My stomach is it's easing. It's really feel good now. It was it to be bloated, but now it's. You know, it's getting normal. I can't wait to see the result in another couple of weeks' time. But for the first week, very impressive result that I have. I can't wait to see my doctor, what he says about this in another, like your target. Your target for yeah. My problem is that I had a kidney transplant. I was sterilized for 3 years. And then my son, my eldest son, was a very humble son, gave me his kidney, 4 years ago. And I had diabetic, you know, I still have the diabetes, but like I said, for the first time ever, I followed your instruction, and I'm very glad. I had also the stroke, and I've been heart attack, rushed to the hospital, all those problems. I can't imagine how express my sincere thanks for the blessings that it comes through my doctor, homeopathic doctor. I feel it's providences, God's providences that comes through you, that enable to heal my problem. So I'm 100% support now of the homeopathic. I can't shut my mouth talking and telling my my friends, my family, my fellow students. I talk to them and recommend the homeopathic program because of the result that I have myself. So absolutely. So thank you very much, Doctor. And thanks for the team, thanks for the opportunity to have on the platform to voice out our result. And it's very good also to hear the good result that everybody are sharing and encouraging each other. Thank you very much.
Can I come in again?
No.
I can't wait to make in our Tongan community. I can't wait to make arrangement now to ask for doctor to start talk to our community, Tongan community in the church, and even in our big parish, Catholic parish here in Mangere. We can start arranging a presentation for doctor to promote the awareness of homeopathy here in our community. Thank you.
Maybe we can do that after the month. You know, we can see the result. I'm sure I would looking to lose another 10 to 20 kilos.
And see how lovely Sonasi looks like now.
Yeah,
You have a long beard on, and he looks like an 80 years old man, but now he's 50 years now. Hey, doctor.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sonasi. Thank you. Okay.
Thank
for-
you. God bless you all. Love you all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So can I say a few words? Is it okay? Yeah. I think that they are from Tongan community. Last 30 years onwards, they are here. They didn't know about the homeopathy. See, so they know about from other their friends about homeopathy, and they came to me just 1 week before. So within that 1 week, how his face looked like, I also surprised because I didn't see him. So now I can see his glow face, and within 7 days he lose 7 kg.
Yes, a kilo a day.
So now he can't wait to get down, doctor, to 80 kilos. 80 kilos.
That's why they didn't know about our system. So I am
No.
thinking we need to go forward through the community, and we need to go through something to the government, because now they are paying from their pocket. So here so many funds available. So we need to try to get it for that homeopathy, for the treatment of homeopathy, and for the I know you are really helping for that. Okay, thank you so much.
We
So-
have, I think, if
Thank
we
you.
talk to our MP, Mr.
Yeah.
William Chua, our MP, and our Tongan MP too, Jenny Salesa, and then another Tongan MP too, Winnie, they will
they need to come to
Come
this
up to push.
platform and say hi to us. Okay, that we need, that we can try. Okay, Moana, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Next doctor is waiting. Yeah, Dr. Ajay is from New Zealand. Okay, and see, please come forward. Thank you. Yeah, can you please unmute Dr. Ansi?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Please.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, madam. Now unmute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. It's warm and sunny and nice out here in Whangarei. And we are heading towards autumn. So it's a pleasure for me to join the International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. And I'm very much thankful to especially Dr. Molly Shaji for giving me an opportunity to discuss the prospects of homeopathy here in New Zealand. I share same space with her, and she's one of the pioneers from our community, which is the Malayali community here in New Zealand. So I was in Auckland for kind of 4 years, and then I moved to a kind of a urban, but a little bit a suburban city called Whangarei. So I've been practicing homeopathy here. And I work in a health shop. So in New Zealand, the alternative medicine comes under the wing of health shops. So there are private practitioners and also practitioners who work alongside a health shop. So I'm one such representative who works inside a health shop alongside with naturopathy, which is somewhat like our Ayurveda back in India. So they deal with lots of herbs and supplements and things like that. But they do have a section of homeopathy inside the health shop. And one interesting fact that I've seen here in New Zealand is that even inside the pharmacies, you get to see a small counter of homeopathic medicines. So that is the general marketing section of homeopathy, if I'm talking about. And next, I would talk about the disease conditions that have been prevalent here. So most of the Kiwis have got gut issues. They have autoimmune diseases like celiac and Crohn's. So most of them suffer from such situation. And also there are heaps and heaps of conditions of autoimmune diseases like Hashimoto's thyroiditis, Graves' disease, Cushing syndrome, and such things. So in my experience, most of the time I've dealt with such disorders, which is the autoimmune disorders and the eczema related to it. So if you look at the children here in New Zealand, 80% of them have skin complaints. I do not know what the predisposing factor is, but I think it's because of the westernized food culture that they are following, that they are lacking all these nutrients and essential amino acids that help up to boost the collagen production in their body. So that's what I feel. So most of the kids, 80% of them, right from the newborn still up to 5 years, they are suffering from eczema and such diseases. So I found that homeopathy is very much helpful for them to alleviate the symptoms of the childhood distress that they may be having because of eczema, and that helps us to boost up the immunity so that they can have a full-fledged, healthy, youthful life later. So that's what I have felt. And also here in New Zealand, in the health shop, there are a variety of combination medicines, which is very much popular than the classical homeopaths. Classical homeopathy, I would say. First I was thinking like, will it work or not? Because those are combination medicines. But what I found is that with the general popularity of such fully marketed complex medicines, they are very good at suppressing the symptoms, or I don't know whether it is suppressing, but that certainly helps with calming the symptom at that moment of time. And then I progress to a constitutional remedy. After then you get the detailed picture of what the child is like, or what the personality is like, and then I'm very much successful in giving the combination the constitutional remedy. So that is the practical side that I've seen. And again, there is a very high incidence of cancer here, which is again a byproduct of the westernized food culture. You get to see McDonald's within every, like 10 or 15 kilometers, there is a McD, there is a KFC, there's Burger King, and all of that. So it's also with regard to the food culture that they are following. And that's what I think. They are, even the kids do not know what a healthy food is and what's not a healthy food. So kind of they are kind of confused with what sort of food they should eat, because most of the time the parents are working. So the parents do not have time to cook food. They go to takeaway. They go to restaurant most of the time. So that is a predisposing factor that I've felt. And with the usage of homeopathy, and also with the awareness that we give to the clients, we are able to find that we can make a huge difference, not just in their lifestyle, but we can really do the genetic clearing to help them to have a full-fledged healthy life later on. That's what I have felt with homeopathy right here. And there is a big Indian community here, so they also come to me for homeopathic medicines, because they do have that awareness of homeopathy, because either their parents or grandparents either of them should have taken it in their youth or during their childhood. So the Indian community do have a very big awareness, but the rest of the communities on the awareness of homeopathy is limited to people who follow an organic lifestyle. So that's where I think the challenge is. Yeah. Thank you so much again. And it's great to see doctors from different parts of New Zealand. Yeah. And all my well wishes to all of you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Nancy, for your wonderful speech and information. So now Dr. Praveen from Christchurch is waiting. Okay. Welcome, Dr. Praveen.
Okay, Praveen sir, you are unmuted.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, IFPH and the Dr. Molly for giving me such an opportunity to share with you my experience in homeopathy and also my journey to New Zealand to upgrade my understanding about this science and system. So I'd like to try to share my screen to show you some kind of slides I have presented. I want to present before you. Can I share my screen, Shalu?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wait, I want to make you co-host. Okay, and after
Okay.
you can share your home screen.
Yeah, please.
Okay, sir. You are now co-host. You can share your
Okay,
screen.
thank you. I hope everyone can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, visible.
Yeah. So I think it's a wonderful time now. We have all doctors, all supporters, all researchers coming together to help homeopathy advance in this time of pandemic. And I fully support this International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy, which was a great initiative from few doctors back in India. And I think this will lead to a kind of awareness among all kind of like people to come up with some kind of knowledge they have regarding homeopathy and how to incorporate all these things to make them into an evidence-based medicine, which is what all scientific community is looking forward to. So my brief presentation is on this pathway for homeopathy to become an evidence-based medicine. First of all, I'd like to start narrating my story. First of all, I was a homeopathic practitioner back in India. Starting from 2003, I was running some homeopathic clinics, and I found great success of this medicine, particularly in children, women, health, and also in kind of skin diseases, various or disorders, as many of you have already shared their testimonies. And what made me like think about coming to New Zealand was I found a kind of scarcity in meeting the scientific knowledge and the repertorial or the materia medica knowledge meeting together. Like we need, scientific community needs evidences to prove that the medicine is valid and it is applicable in such and such condition to any cases. So that is actually the scientific community is looking forward to. While we claim in the materia medica and repertory that we have got a lot of medicines which we can give for such and such conditions. So my investigation started there, and I found a master's program in University of Canterbury, which was a particular course was there running to study the research approaches in CAM or IM, which is called complementary and alternative medicine or integrated medicine, under which homeopathy comes in New Zealand. And New Zealand has accepted homeopathy as an alternative medicine. Even though they don't have a kind of ethical board or kind of ethical regulations, but it comes under the general guidelines of the health Ministry of Health. And I want to know what this university wants to teach us regarding this camp and what we can apply. And regarding one of my assignment, which was to write how I can implement or how I can bring this research methodology into the clinical practice or into the down to every practitioner. I found that there is a very useful book which I recommend for every homeopathic practitioner to read. That is by Lex Rutens, on statistics and research in homeopathy. He is actually a statistician, but he got attracted to homeopathy. He studied homeopathy, and he incorporated these scientific methods or methodology, research methodology into the clinical practice, and found out that this can become a prognostic research which can boost the homeopathic science to what we call the evidence-based medicine. So we have seen that there are a lot of resources we have in homeopathy, that is especially in 19th century or back in 18th century, from 18th century onwards. We started, homeopathy was having a large collection of books like Materia Medica, repertories and everything, right? But all these things are coming from one author, and he probably might have used his success stories to incorporate the effectiveness of particular medicines. But he didn't mention how much that medicine was having some failures also. So there will be some kind of failures for the particular application. So it was not recorded. And there will be a bias, what we call in statistical term, it's called bias. That means that the research will be projected more than what is the bare minimum. So there is some kind of bias. We have to accept that there is a bias in homeopathic resources, but we also need to know that we can make it as some kind of evidences when we are doing the practice in a very strict and a regulated manner. And I can see that there were many researches conducted in homeopathy, especially what we call the randomized trials from 1980s onwards till 2017. There were many trials across different countries, but unfortunately, these trials, like the blind trials or randomized trials, apply the medicine in a different kind of population without strict methodology. So that could not prove, because we know that individualization is the fundamental key to apply the medicine to each and every patient. Each and every patient is different. So we need to find out a kind of methodology which can apply, which can prove our individualization as a scientific evidence. For example, so they were telling that it is not effective, or because of some emotional comfort given to the patient is coming up with some results. So scientific community blamed homeopathy on the basis that this is not because of the potential medicine, because they could not find any kind of pharmacological active ingredients in the medicine. And they came up with some kind of false allegation that this is something similar to placebo. But we know that from our speaking, we know that this is false. This is totally a falsehood, because we see many cases are giving great results, and we are seeing many wonderful stories or testimonies that when allopathy fails, the homeopathy brings great success. So how can we bridge the gap between the evidence and what we have in the Materia Medica? So we have to find out some evidence in the present day clinical practice. And one of the best statistical tool or the research tool I found out from my research, especially from his writing, was called Bayesian statistics. This is a kind of statistic. I'm not going to teach a class on statistics, sorry. But anyhow, it says something like probabilities or possibilities. This is called a probability theorem. Like you give the medicine for headache, belladonna for headache, and how much probability is to cure a headache rather than when you are giving to a normal individual person or a reminder population. A target population is having a kind of headache, and you see a reminder population is there which don't have a headache, and you see the prevalence of how much, the quantify, how much is applicable. For example, a patient is coming to us in our clinic with headache, and we give belladonna to one patient. We give, we are not considering any other medicine. Earlier we say that we was based on individualization. We found that belladonna is a suitable medicine for that. But when you come into a statistical term, we have to prove it, like the probability of belladonna in that case is 80%. And when compared with other anacardium or pulsatilla or any other medicine which has also some kind of headaches, or Naxvomica, so because the probability of that particular medicine in that case is 80%, we have to quantify, and this is possible. That is what I have seen. This is possible. We can quantify with a measurement that how much earlier can used to have bold, like bold, italics, and normal fonts to describe how a medicine is applicable. Same thing, every doctor has to find in his clinical practice how much from his resource is effective to particular medicine, particular patient, and that is how this statistics helps. So I need to like finish this particular thing. This is possible. We need to read this book, understand the thing, or we can present any other, in any other session, we can go into this particular details. This is something very marvelous. The thing is, we should have a good observational skill to individualize each case according to some strict rules. And there should be a panel of doctors whose views should match, and that should be the statistics or the standard with which we have to measure any other future cases. So a column of doctors, or a, what do you say, a standardized panel of evidences need to be kept, so that we see that belladonna is good in such and such cases according to our collective experience. So we need to have a team of doctors, expert doctors, coming up with evidences, and they should agree each other from their clinical experience that this is good in such and such cases. I know this is a challenging aspect, but there is a point where these two lines can meet. And so we have to value our practical experience. And for every medicine that we give to a patient, we have to note down on what ground we have given that medicine, at least as an initiative. This will lead to a volume of data which can be used by computer and other statisticians to build up a huge evidence which can be promising to the future generations. So this is what I have to mention from my experience in homeopathy. And right now I'm based in Christchurch, and I met one of a supporter in homeopathy, and I was amazed with her testimony. I like to bring her before you all to share her experience. And it's quite strange that she has tried the medicine in pets, and she found it a great success. And you know, in New Zealand, it's one of the countries where there is a vet homeopathy, and even there is a course on vet homeopathy. So I like Molly, Dr. Molly, to ask Mrs. Andrea to speak her testimony.
Yeah, welcome, Andrea.
Madam, what's the ID name? Zoom ID name? Andrea?
Is Dal, her name is Dal Jeffrey, or
Jeffrey.
Yeah,
She's not there.
I will show you. GEOFF.
Yes.
Found, right?
Yes, sir, I found. Okay, he is unmuted.
Hello.
Unmuted. Yes.
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Hello,
Hello.
Jeff. Hello,
Yes, madam, you can
Andrea.
continue.
Hello. My name's Andrea. And I'm using my husband's phone, so that's why it's Jeff. Nice to meet you all. And I would like to share my testimony with regards homeopathy, which goes back to approximately 40 years ago. I'm a New Zealander, and I've previously lived in Auckland and Tauranga and Northland. I've had very much success with using homeopathy with my children. My oldest daughter, now being 45, had travelled all over the world with homeopathic prophylaxis remedies with her, and also taking several other remedies. She has never been vaccinated. She travelled to the Middle East and worked with sheikhs in Dubai, competed internationally in the world for endurance riding. And her whole life basically has used homeopathy. Now married with 2 children, she has successfully treated them. No vaccinations, very healthy children. My family, I now have 2 younger children again, neither vaccinated, both very healthy. I also completed dairy farming homeopathy training while I was dairy farming in Northland on a 500 cow dairy farm. We had some severe cases of mastitis, and I said to the manager, would I be able to treat some of the cows with homeopathy? And he agreed. So I had a herd of approximately 20 cows that I treated with homeopathic remedies. And on a cow, you just use the spray, a homeopathic remedy, which I worked in with Celine Homeopathics in Tauranga. They've been really great. They have supplied all my homeopathic remedies over the years. We successfully treated those cows. We then went to add prophylaxis to the water troughs on the whole farm, and from that day on we hardly ever had a cow with mastitis. So that was pretty much a miracle back in that day. We also had a dog that got 1080 poisoning. If you don't know what 1080 is, it's probably worth Googling it or looking on YouTube. It's a horrific poisoning that the New Zealand government spreads through all our forests and tries to wipe out all our ecological system, and doing very successful at it. And this dog got 1080 poisoning. He ate some pork that was old bones, pork bones, and the vet said there was no chance he could save him. He was fitting and in extreme pain. Celine Homeopath sent me some couriered prescriptions, some remedies, nosodes, and we immediately started treatment with those, and within 2 days that dog was totally well. And we took him back to the vet, and the vet said he'd never ever seen that before. He had lost within that year 6 to 10 dogs, he said, with 1080 poisoning. So my experience with homeopathy goes back years. I'm a registered breeder of pedigree Burmese cats. for quite a few years, I didn't want to vaccinate my cats, didn't believe in the allopathic vaccines as being, I worked as a veterinary nurse and was told even by my vet that the vaccines were very ineffective, to say probably 1 in 24 chances of actually hitting the right virus with any of them. But so we used homeopathic remedies, prophylaxis remedies, I think you'd call them. I'm just a lay person, so I'd probably get the terms wrong, but he was quite surprised also at the amazing effects of those homeopathic remedies on our cats. And living in Christchurch, Brother Pravin, I'm very interested in, and his work in trying to get accepted by the government. The government in New Zealand is not being very helpful whatsoever, and even recording instances of amazing healings and testimonies from people hasn't really had much of an effect. And I have published a lot on the Cat Fancy website and different places, the New Zealand Kennel Club also. I've also printed in the dairy farming community is very different because they have no remedy for mastitis really apart from penicillin, and then the cow has to go on to withholding periods, which are really long. So they're absolutely wrapped if they can treat mastitis with a homeopathic remedy that has no withholding period. So I'm just a great believer in homeopathy, and I always wish I had advanced more in studying and applying it. But I think you're all doing an awesome job, and that's my experience of it really. One of the most amazing experiences I had with my children was with foot and mouth disease. They had severe blisters on their throats and their fingers and toes. And I actually had a German doctor at the time that said, try a homeopathic remedy. And I did. And within 3 days, those kids were absolutely fine again. 2 to 3 days, they were all good. So we have had some great breakthroughs with homeopathy. At the moment, I've got the flu, a bit of a cold, so yeah, probably don't sound too good, but it's not my normal voice. Anyway, and I just hope you all keep up the good work, and it's awesome to contact you all. And I'll say goodbye now. Bye.
Hi. Next is Dr. Sheehan. She's Dr. Sheehan. Dr. Sheehan, welcome.
Hello?
Hello, Dr. Sheehan.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, dear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. I would like to thank everybody, and it's a pleasure to join that wonderful international group from all over the world hosted in India. And that is the beauty of technology nowadays, that we can connect across the globe with each other here in New Zealand, and also on such a wonderful, important topic. It's a pleasure also to be with a few of my colleagues and networks from New Zealand that are going to be following, like Dr. Shahul Hamid, and also Mr. Anand, and Mr. Sanasi, and Mrs. Muwana, who are going to be discussing also their views and experiences about the topic of homeopathy. I would like to give a background about myself. I am not a doctor as a physician. I am a PhD doctor, and my topic was on drinking water quality and its importance also for our health. We're is a very important topic. Apologies, because I am using it through WhatsApp. I'm very sorry for that. My background, as I was mentioning, is about, it's in the area of management. So today I will try to shed light on this topic from a management perspective and also its importance on us. Homeopathy, as I am not a physician, I'm not a doctor, but as a user and also as a human being with all these experiences on what we have met through our lives. My previous speaker has provided wonderful examples how homeopathy is not only important for human beings, but for animals. And all of us have got pets at home, if not have animals in the farm. Homeopathy is a very old field that started in the 17,000s. And my background also is, New Zealand is my home right now, but I originally come from Egypt, the land of the pharaohs. And homeopathy is ingrained in our culture and has been used for centuries and centuries, and has proven its effectiveness for us as human beings. And also, I think it is also one of the important puzzles that everybody is trying to know about, how the ancient Egyptians were able to mummify the human body and how to keep it intact. It's an enigma until this day. And I believe that the art of homeopathy was used also at that time. And see how old is that? Decades and decades and centuries, where they used homeopathy in order to preserve the bodies. And it's also to do with the beliefs of the ancient Egyptians at that time of that the ka, the soul, comes back and searches for the physical appearance of those deceased. If we are going to look at here in New Zealand, I have been living here for the past 23 years and it's home now. We also have our indigenous people, the Maoris, and also people from the Pacific area. And they also have their beliefs ingrained also of the importance of homeopathy. And they would share lots of important stories of how successful it is. As a normal human being, we always have, with this global homeopathic treatments, that was proved very, very successful. If I'm going to look at it, for example, from a managerial point of view, I believe in a concept that is called, which is related to leadership, is emotional intelligence. My understanding about homeopathy is that the power of the body to heal itself, and also through the use of natural elements that God created around us. The plants, it's to do with nature. It is to do with the principle of the rule of similarity. So in management, when we talk about emotional intelligence, it's to talk about leaders specifically to be in tune with themselves, with their own emotions. What triggers it? How do they feel about things? How do they react? And that also impacts our attitude, how we resolve issues, how we resolve problems. So if we take this concept of emotional intelligence, that is extremely important in management, not only to manage ourselves and control our reactions, our feelings, our interactions with others, and how to lead our lives and other organizations. And we look at also how do we communicate with people? How do we know that those people, what triggers them? What do they feel? How do they react? In this case, it is emotional well-being and important for the success of the leader within their environment, their community, and also their followers. If we transform that concept to homeopathy, there is some similarities there, in my own humble personal opinion, of course, because as I mentioned to you earlier, I am not a physician. So if we take this concept and transform it to homeopathy, homeopathy also, to me, as my understanding, it is to do with our emotions. How do we feel? What triggers certain ailments? How do we react towards certain medications? Lots of people get used to, for example, it's well known, research says that if you take antibiotics a lot and a lot and a lot, we become immune. It doesn't help us anymore. It is no more effective. So what can we do? In this case, people tend to go to homeopathy. So, see, there are uses for it. So as a human being, we need to know what triggers these ailments. Look, I'll share with you a really funny story, actually, about my grandmother, peace be upon her soul. She is no more with us. My grandmother had a heart condition, and she had a special doctor, a GP actually, not a heart doctor. She was very relaxed with that doctor, and she liked him very much. And sometimes she would be very sick and she would be bedridden. And then when that doctor comes to visit her, home visit, and knocks at the door and she hears his voice, just hearing the voice of the doctor walking in, she chirps up, wakes up, sits up in bed. So can you imagine the power of hearing the voice of another human being that patient is related to? How powerful, how important in her journey to overcome her disease. So it's to do with our emotions, our feelings too. If we believe in it, or if we are skeptical. If we believe it's going to work, or we don't believe it's going to work. They always say that if you want to recover from any ailment, 50% is to do with your relationship with your doctor. I would say that also, if you want any homeopathic treatment to work for you and to be effective, you have to be a believer. So this is from where I would link and connect between the concept of emotional intelligence and homeopathy. We need to be in tune with our own bodies, because we go and explain to the doctor. If we do not have the art of communication, of knowing exactly what do we feel, how does our body react to certain conditions and environments, to relay this to the doctor. If we do not describe and explain this carefully to our doctors, we will not make their job easy to give us the right medication to help us recover from our specific ailment. That is what I believe in, and I am so grateful that I was part of this platform to share with you my point of view and to listen also to the valuable wealth of knowledge of all the contributors of today. And I would like to hand over to my other colleagues who are going to also share from their point of views and share their stories and anecdotes in the field of homeopathy. Thank you very much. A pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shihan. Next, Dr. Shahul Hamid.
Hello.
Yes. Hi, welcome.
Kia ora whanau. It's very good, in fact, to actually participate in this forum. And thank you, Dr. Molly and Dr. Rajan Shiju, to actually allow me to actually share my thoughts. Again, as my colleague Myself and Shyam, we are working in Tiwananga area for quite a long time. And in fact, we've been synonymous with the Maori, Tangata Whenua of this country. Now, I totally agree, and I'll be speaking again to reiterate that I'm not a medical doctor, nor I have any iota of medical terms, what was talked by Nancy and by Praveen. But all I can say is that this homeopathy, when we talk about in terms of promotion, we have to talk in terms of infusion of other bodies of knowledge, whether it's management in terms of emotional intelligence or in social service, from which I'm going to talk from a bicultural point of view. We all know that, and it stands said like my earlier speaker, Andrea, what she did, in fact, with the animals, it is mind-boggling, and we understand that, that the ignorance can actually be fatal, and that's what is happening. We all have been patterned, we have been structured, and we have been put in that, well, you take that vaccine, you're fine. But again, we don't know clinically whether that's going to work or not. For case in social service, we understand, in particularly social work, mental health, it is in a very, very disastrous state of mind. We understand that people are taken in, they've been injected with all those kind of medicines which are manufactured by the big drug companies. So today is the day where you have in one side the drug companies and their lobbies operating in parliament. They have practically captured the law, the parliament. That's a fact of life. They have money power and they create the MP, they create the lobbyist in fact, and they create the political brokers who actually see to that the growth of other things does not come. Again, I'm really very thankful for Dr. Praveen, and I could understand how Praveen has taken a lot of time-taking thing, and he talked about research methodology, and we know that the whole social work or social services actually go by evidence-based practice. And when we talk about evidence, again, quantity and so many methods actually come in. So we have to now start looking homeopathy apart, of course, from the core angle, from a clinical side, but also from non-clinical side. We have to see how the society, the Whānau Hapu, EV are receptive to that. We have to encourage, in fact, and me from India being a migrant here 18 years ago and been working in Wananga for 15 plus years, and I see the pathetic condition, especially of Tangata Whenua here, that they have been dosed and they have been used as guinea pigs, practically guinea pigs. And net result is that, they have become victims of the state, of the government. I can probably tell that this is what is happening because they are Rongo why. There was a suppression, there was a act, Tahunga Act, which was passed earlier during the colonial period, which actually wiped out that Maori-based homeopathy, Rongawa. And that was wiped out. They lost their barefoot doctors. And finally, today, they are totally dependent on the mainstream. Now, I'm not criticizing the mainstream. No doubt they're very, very good in surgical. There's no doubt about that. But what I'm trying to say is that from a bicultural point of view, we had to actually encourage alternative system of medicine, homeopathy. And when we talk homeopathy, even in India, I come from, my grandfather, my whakapapa, in fact, relied on homeopathic thing. They had no idea what is Panadol at all. And we understand today for everything, and we actually go in for Panadol, and that's a quick fix. But we don't know the harm it is actually, affecting and impacting on our day-to-day thinking, our cognitive process. And today, we have become a kind of a robots, that we had to actually appease the system. Rather than blaming the system, as what my other earlier speakers have talked about, like, and Nancy, Dr. Nancy from Whangarei, she's practicing. That's really good. She created her own world there. And, and again, hearing the other speakers that many of them are aware, and I understand that some of the pharmacists do have in a small section of homeopathic medicine. Now, there is a silent, resilient growth going on where homeopathy as alternative is being taken in. Keeping aside the evidence-based, healing or evidence-based practice, that's the mainstream kopapa. They are given as the kopapa. But let us come out from that mind shift, like what my colleague Shyam was talking about. Let us use our own thinking and say, okay, what has happened? We have fallen into a trap of dependency. Today, what has happened, anything and everything I had to run to my physician, and they prescribe, in case of myself, I'm talking how I was attracted to homeopathy a few months ago. And, you know, they give a big list and these are the medication you have to take. You have this, this, this. And it's a lifelong thing. And again, end of the day, I see who's benefited. It is, again, you see the big pharmaceutical companies which are benefited. Take, for example, the COVID, for example. Recently, myself and Shyam, we published article about tourism, how it affected India and got published. But then we understand again, the COVID, the vaccine, there is a huge money-making mechanism which is taken place. Now, we don't understand the head and tail, what actually happened behind. Why is that still New Zealand is struggling to get in the vaccine? I'm not saying that the vaccine or the final answer or destination or bullet, silver bullet. I'm not saying that. But I don't know. Now I'm very suspicious, in fact, of, even the vaccine, to take that vaccine, because I'm not sure whether it will be valid for 11 months or out of 25, only one it may click. I have no idea at all. So that is again politics of medicine. So we have to start seeing things, and it's in this forum what I see people from different walk of life, and they are expressing their stories, in fact, right from clinical and non-clinical, and from a bicultural point of view, which I'm actually talking to you, and we understand it's a complex thing, because it again comes under the social engineering, it comes under social enterprise thing, it comes under the social contract. We have to now start picking up, the disciplines like sociology, anthropology, ethnicity, and we have to start looking from that and publish more papers. Because as what Praveen was talking, it all depends upon what is your research authenticity. And again, when we ask about the benchmarking, who is that benchmarking and calling it as quality? So in case of Maori, for example, they talk about quality. What quality are you talking? You're looking from your own worldview perspective. And obviously, the other world will look, red for you and things like that. So these are certain things we have to start actually critically thinking. And this is a very good forum where Dr. Molly introduced me to, and I'll do my best what I can do. We don't have the final answer, but all we know is that we have to carry our kopapa, we have to carry our pukanga, we have to carry our set of skill. And luckily, in this promotional homeopathy forum, we have different people from different walk of life. Like I have some of the students like Mona and Sonasi who have been with Dr. Molly, and there's a drastic effect. Whether I look it through an emotional, intelligent point of view or I see it through clinical, I don't know. And I say, I'm even myself too is a patient of Dr. Molly. And thank you, Dr. Molly and Dr. Rajan Shaju, that to give me this opportunity to talk, and others to have patience to listen to my Korero. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Now I am inviting Julie Tapiri. She is waiting for, she is one of the well-wisher of homeopathy in New Zealand.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear?
Yeah, you can speak.
Okay, thank you. Thanks. Hi, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed all the previous sessions. So let me introduce myself. My name is Julie Vinu. I'm staying in New Zealand since 2007. So by profession, I'm a financial advisor who is dealing with insurance and mortgage. And today I'm so happy to be part of this Somathon program conducting by IFPH, and all the very best for the team who is initiating this. From my understanding, homeopathy is a medical system based on the belief that body can cure itself, and it is based on the law of likes cures likes. I'm not going to give much intro about homeopathy because I know there is a lot of experienced people are here who already gave good speech about homeopathy and who is waiting to talk in depth about homeopathy. So I will speak from my understanding and from my experience regarding homeopathy. Since my childhood, in my home, there was always a big fight between my mom and dad. The topic will always be homeopathy versus allopathy. Whenever I am sick, my dad always wants to take me to allopathy doctor, whereas my mom wants to take me to homeopathy doctor. So dad always says like, okay, we have to get her cured fast because she have to go to school. She should get cured. Otherwise we are wasting our money to pay the fees to school and all. But my mom always says like, no, I don't want fast cure. I wanted it to get cured thoroughly. And I want her to get more immune rather than getting harmed with unnecessary medications. Anyway, I was so happy to go to homeo doctor because that time I love that small, tiny, round, sweet tablet which homeo doctor gives. And I always wondered that time why I'm getting the same medicine always. Whenever I'm going with any sort of sickness, whenever I'm going, I'm getting the same medication. Anyway, when time flies, I realized what is the importance of homeopathy and all. And due to my mother's inspiration, I became a big fan of homeopathy, and I really loved the holistic approach of homeopathy. I always feels like when we are getting sick, half of the sickness is coming to the mind. Always like our mind is getting down before our body starts to get showing that symptoms. So when we are going to the allopathy doctors, what is happening is like they are just treating for the sickness which is coming to our body, and all of a sudden that sickness, that symptoms is getting disappeared. But when what I personally feel like when I'm going to a homeopathic doctor, the way how they are talking to us, actually they are digging into the actual problem, why this sickness occurs, like, or what is the root cause, and they are trying to treat that root cause, which I feel is really grateful. And I'm really confident about the homeopathic holistic approach. And it is very less expensive and a powerful medicine. I mean, like medical science for normal people. And again, I personally have a motto of prevention is better than cure, and I love to follow that in all aspects of my life. So with homeopathy, I always feel like there is preventive medicines for all sort of sickness. And recently there is a big pandemic, Corona, COVID-19 is everywhere in the world. And this preventive medicine, which homeopathy provides, is very helpful. And it is curing, I'm sorry, not curing, it's like, it's not that expensive, but it's big helpful for all the people. So I always love to support homeopathy. And from my personal experience, if I say, it's like one of my cousin who was like after the marriage for 8 years, they waited for a baby, and they went to a lot of allopathic doctors and had IVF treatments. I mean, like 4 or 5 attempts, but nothing worked out. And she went like mentally and physically down because of this issue. And there was a lot of family problems happen. Finally, I recommended her to a homeopathic doctor. And because of that treatment, that family became more happy because they got a baby. And yeah, so that is one of my testimony about homeopathic treatment. And in New Zealand, I feel like, yeah, homeopathy, they are getting support from the government, but still needs more support, because by profession, I told like I'm an insurance advisor. So some insurance companies, so if the general practitioner, I mean the GP recommends homeopathy as a treatment solution, then only they will provide claim. Otherwise, there is less chance for getting a claim approved. This should change. We should provide more awareness about homeopathy, because lots of people are getting results and they always ask me, can we claim with this homeopathy medication bills and all? But government should give more, value to homeopathic treatment. That's what I feel. So let's all join our hands to promote homeopathy. That will be good for our better future. So thank you very much, and all the very best for the team.
Okay, thank you, Julie. One of our well-wisher homeopathy, Dr. Tina Samuel is waiting. Thank you. Welcome, Tina. Can you please unmute Tina? Tina Samuel?
Sorry about that. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes.
I'm
welcome.
Dr. Tina, and thank you, everyone, to give me this opportunity to talk about homeopathy. And I'm an experienced person. I'm an experienced person of homeo. There was a great miracle in my life, so I just wanted to share my experience about this homeo. So I just wanted to tell my testimony. So I just start, and I'm just going to be telling in a brief way. So I'm just going to start. So my name is Tina Samuel, I said. So I migrated to New Zealand 11 years back. And during that time, it was so much hardship. Like, we were struggling for finding a job, and we had to get a PR. And that was a really tough time for us. And in that time, I just had to undergo so many health issues. That is, I had a tubular pregnancy, an emergency. I just had to remove one of my tube at my very young age. And that was a really shocking to my family. And we were so devastated in that situation, because none of my family members had that kind of situation, and everyone was worried why such thing happened to me. And I didn't had any other go, and I was just trusting the allopathy. I never, in my family, we never gone to a homeopathy line. So it was one of my friends who just suggested that there is a homeo treatment, and the treatment is there. There is a lovely doctor. But in the beginning, I was not sure about it. But still, I thought I can just go to her. Before that, we just had a consultation with the allopathy doctors here. And they just told me that I have a condition like endometriosis, and my tubes are blocked and I cannot be cured. And if I want to start a family, I have to undergo the IVF. And that was another shocking, that I know that it's a big process. And so we were preparing for that. But as my friend suggested me to go to the doctor, the homeo doctor. So we just thought, why don't we go try? And we just went to the doctor and we talked with her. But in the beginning, I couldn't completely trust, because none of our family used homeo medicine. But I just thought, okay, give it a go. And the doctor asked me my condition, and I told her that the New Zealand allopathy doctors told me that I have the endometriosis condition that cannot be cured, and I have to undergo the IVF. And she gained my trust. She talked with me. She psychologically, she just emotionally, everything, she just trained me and made me strong and gave me this medicine. And after many months, I had to go back to my country. And when I did my test, after 6 or 8 months, and we all were shocked that the doctor who did the test, he said, it's all cured. There is no endometriosis on your tube. And it was so surprised. And how did it happen? Then I just said, I just had homeo medicine. But the doctor over there couldn't believe that. And he said, oh, it's impossible. But I just gave all the prescription, everything that doctor gave me. And anyway, it was all cured. And when I came back, our IVF date has come. That the day I had to do the IVF, I had to start the medicine. But just before that, I just had to do my pregnancy test. And it was very surprisingly, it came positive. And so it was very surprised, and we all were happy, and we all thank the Almighty God for that. And we thank the lovely doctor who treated me for that. So that was the surprise in my life. So we all family trusted her, and we couldn't actually believe it. So I after that, I just completely trusted the homeo medicine and homeo medicine. And today I'm blessed with a beautiful family, and I have 2 healthy girls. And still I'm continuing with home. Whatever issue come in my life, I just first go to the homeo doctor, and we take medicine from homeopathy. And I have suggested so many friends who, if any friend comes to me with any health issues, I just suggest them the homeo medicine, and I tell them the importance of it. And without having the allopathy medicines, I can completely trust the homeo medicine, because it has no side effects. And still I'm continuing the homeo medicine for any kind of health issues. I will help them in any way to promote the homeopathy, even in New Zealand or anywhere, whole world. I will suggest the homeo medicine. Yeah, suggest the homeo medicine. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Tina, sharing your testimony. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, the IFPH team. Thank you for allowing us to give 2 hours time. Now we are 3 minutes late. Sorry for that. So we are passing on to next country, Australia.